Sheng joining us from Los Angeles thanks to WebEx by Cisco. 11 days until the NHL's trade deadline. We've obviously talked about Hertl's desire to remain a Shark, Sheng, but how about the team's interest in retaining him? How's that going?
Well, the team is absolutely interested in keeping him. They haven't even taken trade offers from other teams yet. That's how focused they are on Thomas Hertl. Right now, the state of it, there have been offers back and forth. And I think the big question ultimately is that Thomas Hertl, I think, wants to stay, but how much does he want to stay? How much does he believe in the Sharks and their ability to compete in the coming years? I think that's kind of the big question mark. So we'll see. I think ultimately the ball will be in Thomas Hertl's court. But I think Thomas Hertl will not leave the Sharks in the lurch if he decides to leave. The trade deadline is on March 21st. He will give him some time when he decides. If he decides to leave, he will give him some time to entertain trade offers. And I think what the Sharks are looking for here for past trade deadline star forwards like Thomas Hertl, they will usually attract a high pick, a high-level prospect. So I think that's what you're kind of looking for. And expect if the Sharks do make Thomas Hertl available, that Boston and New York, the New York Rangers, will be front of the line there.
Interesting. Hey, two other players I want to talk about. One's an RFA, that's Jake Middleton, set to be, at least right now. The other one's a UFA, and Alexander Barabanov. What's the Sharks' level of interest in retaining those players moving forward?
So Alexander Barabanov is sort of the Sharks' other big UFA. And the Sharks have already kind of told his camp that, look, Thomas Hertl is first kind of in line. And after that, then, maybe I'll get to you. And so I think the question there is, how do the Sharks value Alexander Barabanov? Do they see him as a true top six forward, or do they see him more as, and I think that's a debate around Barabanov around the league. Is he a true top six forward, or is he producing big right now just because the Sharks are kind of a below average team and they can afford to give him a lot of playing time? I know that Alex likes the year in San Jose. He wants to stay. His camp is optimistic that the Sharks will give him an offer. Speaking of Jake Middleton, TSN reported that St. Louis, Boston, Tampa Bay is looking hard at him. Jake Middleton is sort of the ideal, physical, old-school defenseman that teams like to have during playoff time. I know that there are more teams than those three that TSN reported that are interested in Jake Middleton. I'm told, speaking with sources, that the valuation of Middleton around the league is a third or fourth round pick. I think the question for San Jose here is it better to keep a guy like Middleton, who's probably going to be cost controlled, and he's been very effective in his role as Erik Karlsson's partner, or do you trade him for sort of a middle round pick, add another middle round pick to the war chest?
I would keep him, and let me know, Sheng, if there's going to be any talks about Curtis Brown departing. Thanks for joining us.